Hello, everyone. This is our HackDuke 2020 project. Over the last 30 hours, our team has worked on Speech, a web application and Chrome extension that seeks to target and reduce the use of hate speech so that we can bridge the gaps that exist within our society. The goal of this project is to allow users to be conscious of the things they write or post, in addition to empowering users with a tool that can identify harmful speech and other texts. Hate speech is not only a consequence of systemic and institutionalized discrimination, but it also perpetuates inequalities in our society, which can be demonstrated by the sociological stress process model. Hate speech is a form of stress exposure and affects people of different social characteristics differently, including race and gender. This stress exposure can cause negative health outcomes, affecting the social and personal resources that an individual has. By targeting stress exposure, we can reduce the resulting inequalities in resources and health.
Current approaches to detecting hate speech are not the best. Convenient Chrome extensions have basic and inaccurate approaches that usually only look at specific keywords, while the more complex machine learning models used by Facebook and other social media sites aren't accessible to normal users. One notable outlier is the Tune Chrome extension, which uses a machine learning model from Perspective API. Unlike our solution, however, Tune can't differentiate between offensive language and hate speech. Our extension and text editor combination use the same machine learning model implemented from a paper from Thomas Davidson. Trained on 25,000 tag tweets, this logistic regression has a precision of 0.9. We also designed the apps with learning in mind. As users write, the data is saved in DataStax Astra for creation of a larger training data bank, increasing the accuracy over time. Our frontend includes a Chrome extension and a website hosted using Firebase, both written using React. The user text is then set to the Python Flask endpoint hosted using Cloud Run and Docker, which hold the model. The data is stored in the Cassandra database to create larger training data sets.
When discussing why it is important to eliminate hate speech, it is important to note that there are 5 primary factors that make hate speech dangerous. These being when the speaker has a wide range of influence, when the speaker can cultivate the audience's fears and grievances, when the speech is a clear call to violence, when the speech builds on the hatred of long-standing historical violence, and when the speech is the only source of dissemination. When 2 of these 5 factors are valid, we see a clear violation of a person's basic human rights to psychological and physical safety, threatening our fundamental freedoms. When privileged groups of people can threaten the safety and rights of marginalized groups of people through inflammatory speech, we are allowing the cultivation of violence and hatred within our society. Our app, Speech, helps maintain online platforms by removing content that can turn people away from technology. We believe that this will help make technology much more accessible to all groups of people by eliminating underlying hate speech and keeping the internet a safe space for all.
In the future, we plan to expand Speech by developing more features that would increase its net of use cases. One example of this would be to develop a voice-to-text mobile application, which would allow users to simply talk into their phone's microphone and detect underlying hate speech. Another effective expansion would be the gamification of the training of the model. This would include a crowdsourced game that creates training data where users can help recognize and mark offensive language and hate speech. To further improve our ML model, we plan to have an automatic pipeline for new data, which would help route new text entries to our model to help further train it. Thank you for your time and consideration, and if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment on our dev post submission.